thought.
Oh,
Oh, it's okay.
He would write a speech especially for you. Microphone use for the Toastmaster by Doug Brown. Doug Brown, microphone use for the Toastmaster.
Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toasties. Okay, so we're gonna grab this guy. Test 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Have you ever noticed that audio guys, when they check a mic, they only count to 2? Do you guys know why that is? Because on 3 you lift, and if they could count to 4, they'd be lighting guys. So, exactly. So today we're going to talk about the types of microphones that generally will be seen for public speakers. And I'm going to talk about all these different types of microphones specifically, but first I thought I'd start off with some suggestions on how to use a microphone that's just general. There's 2 things that you can really do to help yourself get the most out of your microphone use. The first one is to speak up. A microphone can only amplify that which it receives. So if you get on the microphone and you're really, really quiet, the guy in the back of the room has to end up turning that microphone way up. And that's one of the things that can cause feedback. The other thing that can cause feedback, and let's take just a moment to talk about feedback. What causes that sound is the sound from the boxes, from the speakers, getting into the microphone. So, the other big thing that you can do to help stop feedback is to try and stay upstage of those boxes, because as you get further down and down, it's getting more and more of that signal into it. So, the 2 things that you can really do to help yourself, speak loudly and try and stay upstage of the main boxes. Okay, now, the types of microphones. The first one that we're going to talk about is a handheld microphone. There's really 2 types. There's the wired handheld and the wireless, and basically these 2 microphones are exactly the same, with the exception of this one has a wireless transmitter on it. So these are great microphones because they're very sturdy. They're easy to use. The rule of thumb is you want to go 3 inches out and 3 inches down when you hold a microphone. The 3 inches down is really important because when you get it up in front of your mouth, you can get some pops and some breath noise as you speak. And just that little bit down, that breath goes right over the top of it, and you don't have to worry about that. Okay, the second mic we're going to talk about is the podium mic. Podium mics are great because the capsule in it is actually better than either one of these microphones in terms of quality. And it's got a 2-foot radius on it. So anytime you step up to a podium with a microphone and it's pointed generally towards you, you should be using it to its fullest capacity. And last but not least, we're going to talk about the lavalier microphone. These are really the workhorse of the microphones that speakers use. Basically what you've got is a small belt pack and a microphone that either clips onto your shirt or goes over your ear. And that's what a lavalier microphone generally is. So the 2 types that you'll see, the clip-on microphone is really great because it's, once again, sturdy. It's very easy to use. You basically want to get it as high up your clothing as you can and make sure that there's no scarves or collars in the way of it. And because news people have been using these microphones since the 70s, there's a lot of acceptance in the public where you're not going to have the public saying, "What is that on his tie? Is that a spider?" And you just don't see that. Now, the other kind of microphone is the over-the-ear microphone. And basically, it's a little arm with a capsule right on the end of it. It's really, really small and unobtrusive. And I love these microphones because they get so close to the speaker's mouth that you get a really great signal regardless. So the first thing is that the over-the-ear microphone gives you a great signal. The second thing is with the clip-on microphone, you can have some problems with clothing noise as you move around. Here's a great example. The pastor here at Parker United Methodist uses a clip-on microphone. And every Sunday that there's a baptism, it's a little, you want to talk about being fearful. Oh, I'm sitting back there and there's a little baby right next to a microphone that's all the way open, very, very turned up. And so this gets rid of all of that. You don't have to worry about that at all. And then the third thing that makes this a really terrific choice is that the distance between your mouth and the microphone stays the same. So a lot of times with the clip-on, when you have notes, you can get a Doppler effect where when they look down at their notes, they're talking right into the microphone, and then when they look up, it gets quieter, and then they get louder again, and then it gets quieter. So it's one of those things, it's not a huge deal, but it's one of those things that when you're trying to make the best product, it's one of the things to keep in mind. So, my goal was to introduce you guys to the different types of microphones and help you be fearless when using a PA. It can be a very daunting process, but with a little bit of practice and a nice strong voice, any one of you can use a microphone. Thank you very much.
For more information on Lunch Out Loud Toastmasters, please visit our website at www.lunchoutloud.com.